Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, this is Jesse with the Common Nerd, and if there's one thing I love more than just about anything else out there, it's watching the elite fights. Outside of a good DC animated movie that properly represents the characters, I don't think there's something that I enjoy more. And boys and girls, when they're fighting over one of our favorite franchises out there, like James Bond and its legacy, well, seeing two sides fight over the same coin is absolutely hilarious, and especially when it comes to the absolute ilk of the bitch that is Jennifer Salke over there at Amazon. Yes, boys and girls, the one that was responsible for destroying so many of our favorite franchises out there, giving us a Rings of Power, a Wheel of Time, and every other hot pile of steaming woke garbage that bitch has completely and totally pushed out over on Amazon. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't use that word lightly, but come on! Look what she's done to some of our favorite franchises. And fortunately enough for us out there, some people do actually care about their heritage, and surprisingly enough, some people do actually care about their parents and what their father's legacy means, at least when it comes to James Bond. Because as you can see over here from thatparkplace.com and our dear sweet Montanero, Amazon executives infuriates James Bond producer by declaring 007 is not a hero. Future Bond movies at risk as producers label Amazon's brass fucking idiots. And I am here for it, boys and girls. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love seeing this kind of stuff. I love watching them go back and forth with each other. And the fact that she's actually trying to protect the Bond legacy. And I mean, say whatever you want for the last few movies. I know there's some issues with those. I know some people call them, kind of feminizing James Bond a little bit and those kind of things. But at the end of the day, we know that Amazon would go hold my beer and watch how woke I can make it, right? Like, this is literally their repertoire that has been for the last few years. And it's one of those things that makes us worry so much for future projects, whether it be Warhammer 40K or any of the other kind of things that are developing, some of the Reacher stuff that's coming out that I know a lot of people enjoy. It's one of those things that every time I hear Amazon being involved in something, I am automatically, completely and totally cautious, if not downright terrified, because of what Jennifer Salke has done to so many franchises. And fortunately enough, boys and girls, our dear sweet broccoli is out there pushing back, and I, for one, am here for it. Let these elites fight, because competition breeds excellence. And ladies and gentlemen, it always works out better for all of us out there. And the little people, at least, they're not European elites. We're not talking about that kind of day. You get what I'm saying. Either way, boys and girls, we're going to get into this article from thatparkplace.com. Check out all the juicy details and watch this beautiful cat fight play out. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, let us know what you think about this in the comment section down below. What do you think of the last few James Bond movies? Did you enjoy them, or did you heavily criticize them a way a lot of people out there did? Do you have any hope of Amazon being able to get James Bond right in any way, shape, or form? Do you think as long as Jennifer Salke is still at that company, there is any hope whatsoever for MGM? Let us know what you think about all that in the comment section down below. And if you'd like to help support this channel, please check out the links in the description as well. All right, let's get into it. From thatparkplace.com. The world's most famous spy may be able to escape death traps and outwit megalomaniacs, but James Bond has met his match in Amazon and Hollywood's most dangerous game, woke corporate politics. The next installment of the 007 franchise is reportedly stalled due to a brewing battle between longtime Bond producer Barbara Broccoli, daughter of James Bond's original producer Albert R. Broccoli, which shout out to him for getting the rights to all of this stuff, and the executives at Amazon Prime Video, Jennifer Salke, and who appear to view the character as problematic for their so-called modern audience, which clearly doesn't exist and hasn't ever and never will. The audience you have is the audience you have. People that love James Bond now will always love James Bond for the reasons why they love James Bond. And guess what? Jennifer Salke doesn't get that. She is literally completely and totally possessed by the spirit of the age. She's an absolute acolyte of the cult, and she will destroy any franchise she deems problematic with her modern worldview. Hey, guess what? Woke shit don't sell, and we know that's a fact. Broccoli, the fiercely protective steward of her father's legacy. Isn't that so nice to hear? We're looking at you, Tolkien's kids. Yeah, we're talking about you. I don't know, Disney's children or Disney's. Anyway, those are things for a whole nother article. Broccoli, the fiercely protective steward of her father's legacy, has been at odds with Amazon ever since the tech giant acquired James Bond's distributor, MGM, for $6.5 billion in 2022. She has since reportedly referred to Amazon executives as fucking idiots, which I think pretty much all of us can kind of agree with that at this point. But the latest roadblock seems to go beyond just studio politics. It's ideological. According to a bombshell Wall Street Journal report, an Amazon executive stunned a meeting by declaring, "I don't think James Bond is a hero." And if it's not Jennifer Salke, it's definitely one of her little acolytes because they're all possessed by the spirit of the age and spew out the same talking points. And I'm thank the Lord that there was someone inside of that executive studio, inside of that meeting out there that was like, what the fuck? Like, really, lady? Really? He's not a hero. How many times has he saved not only the United Kingdom, not only Great Britain, how many times has he saved the world? Oh, but he's problematic because he likes women and cocktails. Oh, boy. The remark, which reportedly left the James Bond producers shaken, not stirred. All right, you earned it, that Park Place. Encapsulates the very culture war that has been raging in Hollywood. One where classic masculine heroes are rewritten or sidelined in favor of progressive messaging. I mean, like, seriously, you saw the MCU, right? Like, you can't tell me this hasn't happened. Broccoli has long been wary of the Amazon approach to James Bond's franchise. She reportedly bristled at the thought of her cinematic icon being lumped into Amazon's ecosystem alongside toilet paper sales and Black Friday deals. I love it, dude. Hollywood hates these big tech companies. They hate it. But guess what? They're the only places with any money because Hollywood went woke and went broke. The company's bureaucracy hasn't helped either, with her producer, partner, and half-brother, Michael G. Wilson, allegedly struggling just to get meetings with higher-ups. But of course, because they just want to use the IP as whatever they want to use it for. They just want to turn it into whatever they want to turn it into. And guess what? Fortunately enough, thanks to laws out there, that won't happen. But beyond the red tape, Broccoli seems particularly incensed by Amazon Studios' Jennifer Salke's attitude towards Bond. Yes, this wrinkly old bitch right here is the one that's responsible for it. And as you can see, it rings of power out here. And I mean, look at that turkey neck, boys and girls. I'm sorry. I don't normally insult, especially we all age, right? We all get old. We're all going to end up being wrinkly, little turds, right? But like, this chick is a bitch. It's like watching Palpatine, like, slowly get more and more evil and have her face go, I'm just waiting for her to like fire lightning bolts out of her fingers at this point. This woman is an absolute stain and a scourge, an absolute scourge, an infection, a disease, a cancer on everything that we've ever loved about Hollywood and creativity. With her woke mind rose, this bitch is an absolute acolyte of the cult. And can you tell I don't like Jennifer Salke? Just don't get me started on Tolkien. When Salke referred to Bond's film as mere content, Broccoli dismissed the remark outright. I don't trust temporary people to make permanent decisions. Ooh, Jennifer Salke, does that mean you're not long for the world? And honestly, that would be the smartest decision Jeff Bezos could ever make. Get rid of that woke psychopath. She has ruined every franchise you have gotten a hold of. It's disastrous. It's cost you billions of dollars. And even with a company as big as Amazon, eventually that takes an effect. Look at Sony and everything they've done. The resistance has resulted in a frustrating impasse. While Amazon is eager to churn out new Bond films and capitalize on their billion-dollar investment, the Broccoli has seemingly dug in her heels, refusing to compromise on her creative visions and allow her family legacy to be tarnished by Amazon in the same way J.R.R. Tolkien's has. Yep. The friction over Bond's future isn't just about business, it's about cultural rebranding. Hollywood's obsession with reinventing classic characters to fit progressive narratives has already seen iconic franchises like Indiana Jones and Star Wars take a hit. I would say die. Now it appears James Bond is the latest target. Broccoli, to her credit, has always been willing to evolve the franchise on her own terms. She once stated that Bond could be played as a black actor, but had insisted that he must remain a British man. However, she also resisted Amazon's push for modernization that could water down the very essence of the character. From the beginning, Bond has been a suave, confident, and unapologetically masculine figure. A womanizer, a fighter, a man who gets the job done. But that very identity is now under fire from Hollywood's progressive elite, specifically Jennifer Salke, who views him as a relic of a bygone era rather than a beloved cinematic icon. It has now been over 3 years since No Time to Die hit theaters, and no successor has been named to don the tuxedo. In the past, the franchise rarely skipped more than a few years between installments, but with Amazon's dispute dragging on, Bond's return to the big screen remains uncertain. And I'm totally, completely good with that, ladies and gentlemen. Let this thing just sit on a shelf, right? Let this thing just sit on a shelf and just get ignored for a while. Let the fighting keep going, keep them in an impasse, and just wait, because eventually the woke will get purged, right? Eventually this cancer, this brain rot, this spirit of the age is going to get purged from a lot of these systems, because guess what? At the end of the day, no matter how much you think, no matter how much you thought Bob Iger or Kevin Feige or some of these other people, Kathleen Kennedy, she's completely and totally down with the cult. They're just like Jennifer Sulky. Like, they're basically like two sides of the exact same evil, rotten, cancerous coin, right? But like, if you think the majority of Hollywood out there actually worships at the woke cult, I have some oceanfront property to sell you in Arizona, because guess what? Even Bob Iger, Mr. I-101 from Democratic president, guess what? Kevin Feige got to purge all of the activists from his studio under Bob Iger's rule. Because guess what? At the end of the day, 2 + 2 still equals 4, and they have to make a buck. Because if not, everything closes down. I used to say it in my videos a long time ago, even on the old channel, right? Hashtag if you've been here before the ban. Like, literally on the old channel, I used to say this all the time. They are either going to go bankrupt or they are going to change their ways. And it hasn't happened at Amazon yet, but we've already seen inklings of it inside of Disney. We heard about all the Pixar stuff with all of the purge and not being able to put all the gay stuff in things. Like, Pixar basically, Disney flat out saying that that's the reason why Lightyear flopped. You know, we've seen like all the purging that happened over there with Marvel and all the changes that have happened behind Daredevil and everything else. There is a purge going on, and Jennifer Sulky is the one big aspect of that needs to be purged from Amazon Studios. The real question is Jeff Bezos going to have the balls to do that? Or is he going to continue to sit on a franchise like James Bond and do absolutely nothing with what could easily be a $500, $600 million blockbuster at the box office? Instead, you're going to sit on a franchise that's worth billions of dollars because you've hired this bitch that is more concerned about her own personal agenda than she is about making characters accurate to the lore and what the fans have always seen. The history of these characters have to be respected. The source material has to be respected. But guess what? Jennifer Sulky don't give two shits about that. And Jeff Bezos, she has caused your company to burn billions of dollars. So let's find out how long it takes you to realize go woke, go broke exists for a reason. And MGM Studios, at the heart of that problem, is nothing more than Jennifer Sulky. And until that woman is purged from all of Hollywood, we will never get a good James Bond movie. And shout out to Broccoli, because at least she's digging on her heels and making sure they don't destroy it like they've destroyed so many other things. There's a lot of kids' descendants out there that could definitely learn from her actually great example. Shout out to Broccoli. Keep pushing back, because Amazon Studios are absolutely fucking idiots.